It consisted primarily the 1st Battalion, 41st Infantry Regiment, itself part of the 2nd Armored Division, forward, based at Lucius D. After arrival in Saudi Arabia, 1st Battalion, 41st Infantry, was task organized, effectively merged in parts, with 3rd Battalion, 66th Armor Regiment. This task organization, routine before combat, was designed to ensure that infantry and armor were present in balanced organizations so that they could provide mutual support. The task force's higher headquarters, 3rd Brigade, 2nd Armored Division, was itself attached to the 1st Infantry Division, mechanized, to make up for a missing brigade of that division. The brigade was the first to breach the sand berms dividing Saudi and Iraqi territory, and the battalion itself was the first over the berm. Prior to this action, the task force's primary fire support battalion, 4th Battalion of the 3rd Field Artillery Regiment, participated in a massive artillery preparation. This artillery prep was supplemented by air attacks by B-52 bombers and C-130 cargo aircraft. Once in Iraqi territory, the task force encountered multiple Iraqi defensive positions and bunkers. TF-1-41 in elements dismounted and prepared to engage the enemy soldiers which occupied these well-prepared and heavily fortified bunkers. The task force would find itself engaged in 6 hours of combat in order to clear the extensive bunker complex. The Iraqis would engage the task force with small arms fire, RPGs, mortar fire, and what was left of Iraqi artillery assets. A series of battles would unfold which resulted in heavy Iraqi casualties and the Iraqis being removed from their defensive positions, with many becoming prisoners of war. Shortly after arrival in theater, the task force also received a counter-reconnaissance mission. This generally includes destroying or repelling the Iraqis' reconnaissance elements and denying their commander any observation of friendly forces. On February 15, 1991, 4-3 FA fired on a trailer and a few trucks in the Iraqi sector that was observing American forces. On February 16, 1991, several groups of Iraqi vehicles appeared to be performing reconnaissance on the task force and were driven away by fire from 4-3 FA. Another Iraqi platoons, including 6 vehicles, was reported as being to the northeast of the task force. Later that evening, another group of Iraqi vehicles were spotted moving towards the center of the task force. For the next hour, the task force would fight several small battles with Iraqi reconnaissance units. The rest of the formation was destroyed or driven away by artillery fire from 4-3 FA. On February 17, 1991, the task force took enemy mortar fire. However, the Iraqi forces managed to escape. Later that evening, the task force received enemy artillery fire but suffered no casualties. The task force participated in the Battle of 73 Easting and the Battle of Norfolk. Task Force 1-41 Infantry was involved in the worst U.S. friendly fire incident of the Gulf War on February 27, 1991. Task Force 1-41 Infantry soldiers and Bradley fighting vehicles maneuver around destroyed Iraqi armor at the Battle of Norfolk. Light-hearted 4th Battalion of the 3rd Field Artillery Regiment soldiers prepare for combat operations during the First Gulf War.